Tanisha, you just had a bunch of career little records here tonight, a bunch of points. Can you just talk about what was going into this game? Was there like a passion or a drive to really make this a standout for you?
I try to go into every game with the same passion and intensity. We're getting to the end of the season, so every win kind of matters at this point a lot. So just going in, trusting my game, trusting my teammates, and yeah, just playing intense.
And being a freshman, how have you kind of acclimated to this team, and where do you see it going within the next couple of years as you continue with Akron?
It's a new year. We have a new coach, new players, a bunch of transfers. So I think we had a little bit of a slow start getting used to each other, but I think we're definitely on the right track to even make huge steps this year, but definitely a huge future for this team.
And last one from me, is there anyone specifically on the team that has kind of helped you get to this point where you're one of our leading scorers, you're one of our better players with this game?
I don't think anyone specifically. I think everyone just has their own individual role with helping me and helping each other. So everyone's really supportive, and so that makes it really easy.
So Reagan and Lene played very well as well tonight. Just talk about their effort in this game.
Yeah, they're huge defensive players. Like, we know that they can score, they can put the ball in the net, but their defense is what really drives us and helps us when things get tough.
Just talk about the defense overall in this game tonight, because this team has been averaging 67 points, and we only let them get 54.
Yeah. So going into scout, we just know who we're guarding, know what they're good at, take away, what they're good at, and just communicate and play together on defense. So playing as one makes it really easy defensively.
This team is number 4 in the MAC. Talk about what that means to you guys to win tonight.
I think it just shows how much we can do with this team. All our losses have been pretty close, so we're just right there. So we know that we have the capabilities to go really far in this league. So it just gives us a lot of motivation and encouragement.
Coach, if you opening statement to tonight's victory.
I thought our kids played exceptionally hard. They played exceptionally together, but most importantly, they played for each other. And that has been the link of consistency that we have needed throughout the course of the season to be able to withstand the ebbs and flows of things. And as much as basketball is about scheme, this time of year against teams that you play a second time, you've got to have a level of confidence amongst each other, more so than anything else, to be able to get yourself over the hump, and just exceptionally proud of our players for being able to carry that through.
Coach, can you just talk about Tanisha's effort tonight, but also just the underclassmen's effort as a whole this season?
Yeah, it's Tanisha's been working, and you've seen at times the shots that she made today are shots that she's taken all year. She is probably the most efficient that she's been, today, about getting, to the her 3-point shots early in the game. Even the ones that she took, in the second half, they're all in and out, they're all right there. Her teammates have a level of confidence in her. And again, instilling that level of confidence in her helps, and I think it also helps alleviate, the inside clogness that Buffalo presented in how they were going to dare us to make some threes and front back, a Bass, a Riley, in close around the basket. But, for us to share the ball like we did, to rebound it like we did, and to defend like we did, very proud of our players.
Yeah, you mentioned that first half kind of dominating Buffalo, honestly, on the defensive side. Can you talk about how that has evolved, their game with the defense?
Buffalo played a lineup that they hadn't traditionally played to start the game. They had played with one of their more traditional post players, recently, and as they played perhaps smaller with a little bit more semblance of space with having Hattie Ogden in the game. I thought our players adjusted really well. You get 12 minutes to figure that out, when they put the starters in, and they handled it in stride. And I think, in year one here, you're going to have growth opportunities throughout the year of handling things when a team goes smaller, a team goes big, and you've got to be able to adjust. And like we've talked about all the year, that experience is now being able to add up. So a concept that we wanted to run with that smaller lineup is not foreign to them. And they were able to handle it and execute it really well, because it's one thing to understand it, it's another thing to execute it. So kudos to our players to be able to execute that well in the first half, despite some unusualness for their lineups.
And last thing here, with the recent stuff with Caitlin Clark and just women's basketball as a whole really dominating some of the media, what's your opinions on where women's basketball is going to be going in the next couple of years?
It's absolutely incredible. It absolutely is incredible. I had a friend of mine who works for a very large business contacted me the other day and said, "Hey, should we do NIL for mid majors? Instead of just the name brand folks, like wouldn't it make more sense because people are paying more attention?" I think once the direction of that of major companies and seeing the next layer underneath the superstars, it's evolving in that way where there's more of a thought of, hey, this is a market that is expanding. Let's really tap into that. Congratulations to Caitlin. It's unbelievable. I reminded our team today that Lisa Tappinen, was able to beat her last year on New Year's Day. And coincidentally, Alexis Mobley was in attendance at that game playing for Danville Community College. So I'm 1-0 against her. I'm gonna hold that true. I'm just really glad we have Tanisha Clark, and she played with some similar pep as a Caitlin Clark today.
The team just got 46 rebounds. Just talk about our rebounding in the last couple of games.
Yeah, against Arkansas State, we rebounded it well, albeit we rebounded our misses and had a ton of offensive rebounds. I think it was the first time that we had more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds, which, is a positive that you're going to get it, a negative that you're not making it. So, today was a healthy number at 13 offensive rebounds that we continued to do that. And I thought, if Buffalo is going to heavy sag off of some of our players on the perimeter, that can give you a running start to go and pursue some of those O boards. But on the defensive end, we held them probably to the most one-and-dones that we've had in conference play, and that allowed us to expand a lead and allowed our competitive stamina to withstand, some of their runs.
Talk about what it means to you and the team to beat this fourth-place MAC team.
I'm so day by day and just opponent by opponent. If you get caught up in the long game of things, you miss out on the short, things in front of you. And as I've told our team all year, you just got to take the step that's in front of you, and everything will happen. Like, we don't talk about winning and losing. We talk about the process, right? And so I think if you get hung up on standings and things like that, then you get lost in what it all means, and just handle the process in front of you. Our only focus is Bowling Green, a very good Bowling Green team. Where they are in the standings, I'm aware, but that is not a focal point for our team. It is, we need to win, and that is the focal point. And what is the process to winning? It's recovering tonight, recovering tomorrow, and being ready to go on Monday to start our level of preparation for a great BG team.
Talk about Reagan's effort tonight to still get 10 points, even though they were really shutting her down early in the game.
She's going to garner all of the focus. And I thought, we tried to get her in some spots again that is harder to double, harder to crowd. And I thought she handled some of those well. She has an innate ability to still affect the basketball game by way of touches, by way of crashing the glass, by way of her deep, she guarded guards today. And that is an absolute luxury for us to be able to allow her to switch on. If she had to switch on to 35 in Watson, she was going to switch on to her. And that has been the under layers of what she's able to do that has really helped us. So her getting on the glass is awesome. Those defensive rebounds she's pursuing at a high clip, getting to the offensive glass at a high clip. And then, I thought her teammates found her in different spots organically. And I think when we can find those organic ones, or the things that we've been working on, a pass off, as she's coming across the lane, we've been working on that. And finally, and she said, "Hey, throw it to my hand." And we threw it to the hand, and it got there today. So more of that is what we need, a nice healthy dose of that. But she was efficient today, impacted the game on both ends, and I thought did a really good job of carrying over a good weeks of preparation.